you bring your gardening tools? No? Moving on then. Hell's balls. Another sorrow used as a guardian. Releasing this thing.
Pillars.
That was filthy. When all this is over, I might retire.
You'd miss it. You know you would. Red, come see this. Dead animals, again. Different symbols and magic. Seems they were used as bait. Is this how we got through the Sorrow's vigilance? Shall we?
So, here we are.
I suppose now we step into the void.
Suppose we do. Dark rituals, void breach, general weirdness. Lemmy can't be far.
Take care. The place is warded.
Wards worked well enough. You didn't need to kill so many bots.
Demonologists use necromancy. Maybe he thought he'd bring them back when he was done.
It's awfully calm. Why is it awfully calm?
Much better. Ghost wards cannot manifest. Spectres. They haven't noticed us. Stay low. Wards. Think you can fend for yourself?
Careful now.
Creepy hideout. The governor's spawn likes a bit of drama.
This one's different. Looks like it died diseased. This is some dark, sideways magic.
It's forbidden. I've read it.
Sometimes I worry about you. Ugh. What is this thing?
Banisher rule number 4.
If it oozes, don't touch it. Another botched experiment?
It may be native to the void. So, you can see me. Aren't you full of surprises, young Master Haskell?
You may talk. A Banisher ghost. Amazing. How on God's earth did you find me? Never mind that. Thank the Lord you did. Thought I was going to grow old in here.
Were you stuck in here?
In the Araloo? Originally, I was searching for the source of the poisoning. I may have overestimated my talents. Still, an amazing place to be stuck in, no? Tell me, how did you get past the Guardian beneath the mill? Did you use a decoy?
We fought it. Don't change the subject.
You fought it? Of course you did! A good thing too. I was starting to think it was wise to me tricks. Oh, but I have so many questions.
This isn't a social call, kid. And we're the ones with the questions.
Oh. Oh. Of course.
From the looks of this place, you're knee-deep in research. What are you doing here exactly?
Searching for the origin of the Harrow's plague, of course. And I have a theory on the subject.
Of course you do. Go on then.
Now, at first, I believed the water poisoned, but my father sealed the well, and yet folk remained sick. They looked for witchcraft, a foolish, uneducated suspicion, yes, but with some truth concealed behind it. You see, the Araloo taints New Eden. Its influence leaches into the Harrows. The evidence is everywhere.
Can you prove that? Where's your evidence?
In New Eden, the threshold between our plane and this is thin. Even I, a novice, may reach the frontier and then go beyond. I also believe it happened before. Some years ago, New Eden was hit by another epidemic.
Was it the same illness?
I believe that first epidemic was caused by the porosity of the frontier between New Eden and the Araloo. Although, where theirs was an affliction of burning flesh, ours is a corruption of mind and spirit. And I believe I have found its source. There is a substance, a strange ooze. You may have noticed it. This, I believe, is the true source of the Harrow's poison. It carries a particular stink, on the scent of which I experience first confusion, then a loss of control over my limbs.
What do you expect to find at the source of the ooze?
To find a cure. The ooze seeps into our world, sickening us. I may be able to stop it. Unfortunately, I cannot reach the source. The Araloo is a formidable place. Tricky. A maze constantly evolving, changing, reshaping itself. The isthmus, for example. I found an oozing crack in the ground. The terrain then remade itself, and I can get to it no longer.
Perhaps we might be able to find a way through and take a look at that source.
Would you? That would be splendid. Would you mind taking notes?
You see ghosts. You stroll the void as if it were your garden. You possess and share forbidden rituals. Who are you really?
I'm Lammy Haskell, and I am a man of many sciences. I am in fact a true pursuer.
That raises more questions than it answers.
What are the pillars of the universe? Which principles underpin existence? As occultists, do we change the world or scratch upon its surface? Each discipline I embrace peels back a new layer of reality. I'm yet at the beginning and see where I already stand. Amazing, no?
Are you a demonologist like your father?
More or less. Less, more so. My father sees occultism through the eyeglass of his faith, but I know better. So, more so?
If you don't share your father's faith, what do you believe?
I believe in the afterlife. The proof is about us. And if the void embodies eternal despair, there must too be a place of hope. But where? I ask myself, where?
Your father is convinced a witch poisoned his well. Caleb Watson was cursed by a ritual you gave him. I'd focus if I were you.
We must counter the devil with knowledge of his tricks. That, my father always said, is the purest of God's work.
Aye. I can imagine your father saying that.
When I was 10, he gave me my initiation. Demonology, sir, as he would say. He saw me as his heir. Then, of a sudden, the books were forbidden. So I stole them. The very same books he'd forced upon me as a boy. I understand them where he does not. I did no wrong, apart from a little theft.
We must talk of Caleb Watson. Why in the hell would you give him a resurrection ritual?
Ruth's death hit poor Caleb hard. He was alone, and so I would often stop by his workshop. We talked. He took a keen interest in my studies and was a good listener. When he learned that she could possibly return, he had one question. How?
You saw his grief as an opportunity to test the effects of the lesser palingenesis.
Oh, you know the ritual too? Amazing, isn't it?
I've studied it. The actual ritual, not the mangled version you gave Caleb.
Yes, and I'm sorry. I found it in a copy of Die Occulte Philosophia by Cornelius Agrippa von Nettesheim. A remarkable book.
I've met my fair share of illustrious occultists, and none owned an authentic Agrippa. Much is lost in translation or altered in the printing. I doubt your copy is an exception.
Of course! The power is in the words, and mine were wrong, so the power went awry. How very fascinating.
You mistake foolishness for audacity. You must mend your ways.
Surely the acquisition of knowledge cannot be a sin.
Do you remember Deborah?
Miss Comenius. Yes, of course, I remember.
Your father tasked us with an investigation. One way or the other, we must return with the mystery solved.
Ah. I think I understand what you're saying. I might be in a tiny little bit of, danger.
You've studied demonology. Did you do it alone?
When my father forbade me to continue, I confess I disobeyed him in secret. Those big books were very boring until they were forbidden. Suddenly I could not get enough of their secret knowledge. Funny, eh? More recently, a good friend of my father showed me that I had only been scratching at the surface.
Who was your father's friend?
An itinerant Frenchman who often visited New Eden in recent years. He called himself a true pursuer. As a thinker, he was prolific and profound. My father was so proud to be included in his discourse. For him, knowledge is the ladder to greatness, and greatness is the prize. To me, knowledge is itself the prize.
Let's go take a closer look at that ooze then.
And with that sorrow gone, I can leave. Do be careful. My home is your home. If you need anything, help yourself.
The Araloo is not your home, Lammy. But thank you.
Pardon my morbid enthusiasm, Monsieur Stuarte, but could I ask you a few questions?
What do you wish to know?
Do you still need to eat? Do you feel hunger? Sorry, it's just, you're the first ghost I've met, in person, as it were.
I don't eat. Not in the way you do. I feel hunger. Again, not in the way you do.
Fascinating. And can you touch things, smell them? Are colours the same as you remember them?
My senses are different. It's difficult to describe how. I can see, sometimes touch. I cannot smell. Red tells me this is a blessing.
How do you manifest in this plane? Do you feel bound, or are you here by choice?
It feels as if I were clinging to a rope, high above the abyss. Even if I wished to let go, I could not bring myself to do it.
I see. What about your banisher skills? Can you use them? Do the accoutrements of your craft still work? As a ghost, do they not harm you?
The marks on my hands and the rings on my fingers aren't actually there. They have no more effect on me than a memory.
Can you talk to any ghost you wish?
No. I sense traces of their presence. To talk to them, I must still do the work.
And yet here I am, talking to you. How marvelous.
We should probably get going. Some other time, then.
But we've merely scratched at the surface of the great mysteries. I mean, look around us.
Antea, we should get going. So, the pious governor's unassuming son is our evil Harrow's witch.
The more powerful the loose cannon, the more dangerous it is. I don't know that I buy Lammy's hair of the dog theory, but I feel strange, and I suspect the ooze.
Only one way to find out. Oh, God. I need a wee bit of help here. Well, that was not pleasant. Well, not pleasant at all.
Destroy those ghost wards, if you want me back. Red, I can't manifest anymore. I can't help you. A ward restrains me. Red, I can't manifest anymore. Wards. I'm going to need a hand here.
No more wards.
Thank you.
see anywhere that could help.
Keep searching here. Ready and waiting.
It oozes through the breach, suppurates like a festering wound.
How delightful.
Let's see what lies on the other side. Where are we now?
Underground, looks like.
Wonderful.
The ooze affects the incarnate too. Who goes there?
Is that a ghost?
I don't know. But I don't think we're alone. What might you be then?
was...
Oh, shite.
Did you just say shite? You? Bigger than I thought it'd be.
Is that a house from the Harrows?
We may be below the well.
No wonder they all got sick.
This house belonged to a certain Antipas and Clemency Gibbs. Is it just me, or...?
I felt it too.
The Gibbs' land was barren. They were struggling for money.
Look up. The ooze, oozed through the very stone.
And of all of them, just this one house fell down.
Maybe it was personal.
Was the Gibbs' house targeted by the ooze?
Obviously. Look around you.
Mr. and Mrs. Gibbs, have you read my paper?
I read it, aye.
And then I washed my hands and prayed for grace. You claim to prove that there is no curse. Well,
A witch would say that, wouldn't she?
Wherever people gather to live, disease takes hold, and I believe... What are you doing?
your evil lies shall be destroyed. We know who you are, and you shall be judged. Witch!
They were determined to do for her. She built a case for her rationality, and they tore it apart.
Try this on for size.
Call on me. Mrs. Gibbs, I presume.
Official cannon powder.
Ready and waiting.
Still impressive.
Ask for help if you need it.
Another shadow.
What do they want? Red, something is keeping me from manifesting.
In here? Ah, shite.
I can't help you. Red, I can't manifest anymore.
I see a ghost ward. What are you doing down here?
I can... Take care. The place is warded. I can't, Rory. Wars. I'm going to need a hand here. Better.
You're welcome.
Yeah, let's inspect the body. Falling like a log after being startled by a wisp in Akashus.
Never gonna let me live that one down, are you? Expected no less from you, Mrs. Gibbs. Hey!
Someone didn't want to stay dead.
Clemency Gibbs blamed the epidemic on a witch. Come from New Eden Town with the governor.
That's not what Deborah's research pointed at.
Well, the Gibbs were not at home to rational explanations.
Can't work this one out. I think a way to pass could be near.
See anything?
Either the water table is full of ooze, or there's another source.
Let's search upstream.
Over there.
Elusive little buggers.
I love doing that. Don't step in that. I mean it.
I'll find a way around then.
Red, come see this. Wards, you're on your own.
Are those echoes we're hearing, or the shadows speaking?
They always appear near the ooze.
So do the whispers.
But which came first? The whispers say the same things over and over.
What kind of entity would be so obsessed?
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. Possession incoming. Watch out. Spectre position.
This looks perfectly drinkable.
Famous last words.
Why hasn't the poison spread to the groundwater?
Perhaps it shifts and shapes, like the void. Well, at the very least, it shifts. Looks like the ooze comes from a distinct source. Off you go then. Something wicked is tied to this. This whole country is rotten to the core.
And you're just now reaching this conclusion?
If I wanted your opinion, I'd give it to you.
Perhaps if you gave me the space to have one, then we'd both be better off.
We better stick around.
I feel something close. Whoever it was, looks like the ooze got him. This must be Antipas Gibbs. Hell of a fall to live through. What do you think, Antea?
You wanted the space to have your own opinion. I'm giving it to you.
He must be quite the man to have walked over here. Now join in any time, Antea.
What do you think I'm doing?
This is God's land. How could we let a witch come to our community? Instructing our children, no less.
'Tis no surprise. New Eden brims over with backsliders. The governor, chief amongst them.
Aye, many had to sicken and die for him to act. But the deed is not yet done.
We must fight the Lord's good fight and cast the devil out for good. Many want to try the witch, aye, and many want to see her dead.
Did we miss a few?
Reinforcements! Let's get back up! Aye, afraid to take a wee punch, are you?
Call on me.
Those things came from the ooze. They're like those oriental shapeshifters we fought in Bremen.
Or Baki liquefy. This is something else. The ooze reacted to our presence. The Gibbs were so angry. Pure entitled bigotry.
Maybe they were affected by the ooze. I mean, we've been snapping at each other since we got here. Something's toying with us.
I think they made the ooze. I don't think the ooze made them.
This is it. This is the source. How do we get to it? This would do nicely if I wanted to put my legs up.
Something tells me this is the condemned well. Do you think you could get that bucket down? A vivid memory from the dead is somewhere near. I sense the vivid echo of a ghost's memory.
The devil still breathes through her mouth. We are cursed, and you are stalling.
Clemency, Antipas, please. The woman has been jailed. As per custom, she will face trial and justice will be brought
Coming
to
from
this
a magic
community.
user himself. But can you or your demonologist discernment really be trusted?
Dare you insinuate such blasphemy? I'm a man of faith.
And do what God commands of you. Governor, we ask for safety. If we do not get it, there will be consequences.
The governor used Urim and Thummim, and that made his flock suspicious.
Divination stones. He must have thrown them down the well when he sealed it. But why now?
Hiding the evidence perhaps of his role in the witch trial. They connected him to the demonology he used to reinforce his authority.
That echo proves that things were getting out of hand. For his son's safety and his own, Haskell must have feared the suspicious mob. This can't be good.
Who are you?
If we speak, so you listen?
I am no witch hunter. Never was.
Bloody hell. Is that me? That's a cheap trick. What the hell just came out of that shadow?
It's working. Keep at it. Getting rid of that ooze should weaken the shadows. Ghosts are dangerous, and I've no reason to show mercy. You won't do that again.
Taya died to help New Eden, and still we fight this curse.
What more do you want from us?
I'm not messing about, am I?
This just won't do. Enough. Can we please get out of here? That was awful. This trial. It was as if Deborah wanted us to face what she had faced. But all I feel is beaten.
I feel powerless. I were always one move behind. Justice miscarried here.
Of course. That's it. I know what that was. Such spectre of injustice has a name. The mythical infamy. I've only read about them. They're so rare. Most think them a myth.
Haskell's cowardice is to blame. To save his own arse, he condemned a woman he knew to be innocent.
And so a terrible ghost was born, and sickness piled on sickness. Haskell has so much to answer for.
Something's here.
Hidden.
Is that?
Yes. Something's here.
Still impressive. That down there, it was. I was tense. I was impatient.
Me too. That infamy really got to us.
Years of anger coursed through me. Yet now I can't even remember why.
Me neither. This is what an infamy does. It's over now. We're here.
I said something to hurt you. I'm sorry.
I forgive you. And I hope that you forgive me too.
How refreshing it is to the soul to be at once. One thing above all else, my friends, is true. The wicked are at odds with themselves.
Oh, good. His latest sermon. We haven't missed it.
The Lord's promise of salvation from hell pleases them. The Lord's salvation from misery and sin here on earth does not.
This doesn't look like salvation from misery and sin.
The wicked pray for deliverance from the fires of hell, while piling the kindling high. They proclaim their love for their Lord, yet, in his name, they serve themselves. themselves. Their self-regard crumbles in the light of their hateful iniquities.
So true.
Mr. McCraith, my friend, I'm so glad you agree. Now, the wicked man never questions...
I have your answers.
What? Yes, good. Perhaps we should discuss this privately, if you'll give me just a moment.
It's quite the story. You might not wish to hear it. Neither may the good people hear.
Please, this is not the time.
We want to hear the story. Let the Banisher speak.
Tell them, Red. Tell them good.
Aye. There's a story that starts with a question. A question for you, Governor. And maybe for all the good people of New Eden. If I give you a witch, will you do what you did to Deborah Comenius?
Comenius, say you? The school teacher walked with the devil and paid the appropriate price. That's the beginning of the history and also its end.
Is it, though? Now, I've learned much about Deborah Comenius and what happened to her, and it tells a very different tale.
And what story, pray you, does it tell?
It tells the story of a woman, a teacher, living peaceably among friends, until there came a plague. In fear, the good people went to their governor. "The devil walks among us," they said, "and you must save us, or we will find someone who will." This governor knew he could not save them, but he could give them a witch. She would confess, or she would be judged.
Deborah Comenius was a witch, Mr. McCraith. She was the devil's tool, and worse, much worse.
You're a pompous coward, fearful of anyone different, as human as that is.
There must be a man to judge, or there is no order. A man to make the judgment, and a man to enforce it. Of all people, you know this.
I live and let live. I choose only for the dead.
I choose for the living. These people are sinners, sir, and must be led back to the light. This is my mandate, my duty.
Admit it. You toy with magic you don't understand.
You, sir, are jealous.
Sir, am tired. I've done my job, fulfilled my contract. I've found the source of the curse. The poison below the well is no more. No thanks to you.
Aha! Poison it was, then. The weapon of the wicked, to weaken the people's will. What was it? Belladonna, hemlock, foxglove?
Betrayal. Truth unspoken. Secrets and lies. Wrongs, basically. Your wrongs. The wrongs you visited upon Deborah Comenius. The wrongs that led to her death.
She died at the hand of the body politic. She died at all our hands. Most of all, she died at her own.
She died because she would not submit.
'Twas not my plan to kill her, stupid, stubborn woman. Why did she not confess? I would have granted clemency. I would have shown her mercy.
You had the power to stop the madness, but instead you chose to let it run all the way to its barbaric conclusion. You brought the curse down on New Eden. Then you called we Banishers in to fix your mistake. You boast of your knowledge of demons and spirits, but in truth, you master nothing. You're a peacock. All show and no meat. I'm not here today to bring justice. But this man, your governor, brought death to your doors. He deserves blaming. And shame on me if I don't do it.
It's best.
Friends, have I ever not served the interests of our community? Have I not protected you? Have I not loved you?
Death to the dead.
This is unfair.
Is the evil gone for good?
Far from it.
Then who will protect us?
I will. While Mr. McCraith fights the curse of New Eden, I will protect the people of the Harrows. Or at least, try. Now let's all return to our homes and pray for forgiveness and the strength to bear the consequences of our actions. Your fee. One of the many debts my father left me.
You'd best put your own debts first, young Master Haskell.
Don't I know it?
I hate this place. Rest up, then please, let's get out of here.
You're angry. Can tell.
Of course you can. Aren't you angry?
I'm more disgusted. Disgusted by what we saw down there. By the sins Fairfax Haskell committed in the name of his god. I hope he'll burn in hell. For that, I hate myself.
Don't lose yourself. You've done far more than I could ever have asked.
I'll do what it takes, and gladly. You need not ask it.
The closer we get to my body, to the truth about what happened here, the stronger I feel. My senses rise. It's as if I can taste the silence, smell the scent of wood smoke, feel the warmth of your body, feel Deborah's wrath. I feel it as if it were my own. I know her rage. But that anger of mine, that fear, I thought when I left home, I'd left them behind.
thought by becoming a banisher, you'd overcome your anger and fear.
I thought at least I'd gain control. I'm a big bad banisher. I fear no ghost. I understand now that this control was but a mere illusion. So much so that the sister I thought was gone for good seems to be winding her way back to me.
Your sister, Ayomide, wasn't it?
No. As a child, before I left Cuba, I had a friend. I chose to call her my sister. That night, the night I died, I dreamed of her. I dreamed of Calendre.
Are you sure it was a dream? Is that why you left the schoolhouse without me?
Yes. It must have been a dream. She wasn't there. I mean, how could she have been there? But I heard her voice. I'd swear on it. How could that be?
The nightmare, perhaps?
I don't think so. The nightmare felt close. This felt like it came from further away. As if from a different realm of being altogether.
What did you hear her say?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think she said we were family. Never to be divided.
She's after my job. She can't have it. I'm your family now. Nothing's tearing us apart.
No. Not even death.
Still angry?
Gloriously. Ceridian?
What do you mean, Ceridian?
Ceridian, what's wrong? I don't think she can hear us. We need to go back to the swamps.
You understand that? But it's a bird.
It's Ceridian, by way of the invisible, speaking through the crow.
Pity it doesn't work both ways. Imagine having a conversation with someone far away.